Well, hey guys, so I am riding solo this week. Stacy is in Asheville. She is spending a little bit of time with her family after Hurricane Helene and doing a little bit of disaster relief work in that area. So we had an appointment about 6 months ago to get our independent suspension and disc brakes on our Model G. So I am super excited about that. I am missing her already. Not having my navigator is kind of tough, and my partner in crime with me. But it'll be a little bit of a long drive. We were in Georgia this past week for the Brinkley rally at MORryde, and so now I am making the about 12-15 hour trek up to Indiana to the MORryde factory to get the independent suspension and disc brakes put on. So lots of driving, and I'll keep you guys posted, but super excited about the outcome. Like, we've been waiting 6 months to get the independent suspension and disc brakes put on the camper. So I'm excited to see the differences in the ride quality and all that kind of stuff as we go. So I just thought I'd have a little bit of a conversation with you about why we decided to go that route. I think if we were not full-time in the camper, we would not have done the independent suspension. I still think we would have done the disc brakes. This camper has a GVWR of about 22,000 pounds. Loaded, we're about 19,500 pounds, so still well under the GVWR for our rig. But I just think it's one of those things that this thing does not stop particularly great. It does. It stops fine. You just have to leave yourself a huge distance between yourself and another person. The disc brakes are just going to help reduce that stopping distance, and just kind of give us a little bit better sense of control. Had a lot of conversations with people at the Brinkley rally at MORryde this past weekend about disc brakes. It seems like everybody that didn't have them were getting them installed at the rally, and everybody that got them just said you wouldn't believe the difference that it's going to make in stopping and just the safety aspect of travel. So Stacy and I, after talking to everybody, we kind of decided, okay, this probably makes sense to do the disc brakes. The independent suspension we had decided to do back in April when we bought this rig. It does not ride bad at all. I think Brinkley did a great job. This is probably the best towing fifth wheel we've ever had in terms of, it has sumo springs, and in addition to the equalizers that are kind of upgraded. And I think they've done a great job with sort of a trailer suspension. So you can see it's a triple axle system with leaf springs and equalizers, which is kind of a basic trailer setup. Brinkley went with some much nicer equalizers, so you get a little bit more wheel travel and cushion. One of the other things that they did, which is kind of really neat, is that they put sumo springs on each of the leaf packs. So that's kind of a nice feature to give it a little bit more road cushion when going down the road. And the other thing you'll notice is all of the braking systems now are currently those drum magnet type brakes. So those will be going away. We'll be getting disc brakes. All three of these axles will be disappearing, and we'll have a completely independent suspension system for each wheel. So look forward to showing you guys the process, letting you hear from a couple of people at the MORryde factory about that install, and showing you kind of the after effect of it. And so the independent suspension is not an inexpensive upgrade, but I think it's one we're really going to enjoy. I think it'll improve the ride quality of the whole rig, but then most importantly protect the Brinkley and all of the stuff that we have inside from damage as we travel across the roads. You guys know these roads are across the U.S. are in pretty bad shape. I have a lot of opinions about that. I think we need to start to reinvest in some of our own infrastructure in this country, but the roads are in pretty rough shape, and I don't want to beat up our home every time we're going down the road. So I'm going to keep you posted on the ride difference. On a smooth road, this thing rides beautifully. When you start to hit some bumps, that's when you kind of get out and you notice that, oh, well, this drawer came open, or this thing that we had on the table fell over. So I'll be really interested to know if once we get the suspension on, because Indiana doesn't have the best roads in the world, so when we get the suspension on, I'll be curious to know if that's going to make a difference and make the ride quality a little bit better. But I'll take you guys along the journey with me. All right, so we just got on the Catskill here in Indiana. Elkhart says that they want you to have a Catskill weight within the last few days before you have the independent suspension installed. So I just did a weight. We were about 400 pounds lighter this time than the last time we weighed a couple of months ago. So anyway, that's all looks in specs and all looks good. So that way I'll have a weight ticket for them. And really quick process if you have the app. You just pull onto the scale, put in the scale number, it weighs you, prints out a PDF ticket, and you're done. So super simple, about $14 to get a weight. So we decided to test the RV and do a little bit of video footage on the way over to MORryde so that we could kind of get a baseline for what the stock suspension was like. So quite a bit of shaking in that video, as you all saw. We'll be really interested to see how the rig performs on the way back from during those same roads using the independent suspensions. We've arrived at MORryde. The guys were great. They welcomed us. They're doing a little bit of measurements on the rig. They all kinds of measurements, and so they're in the process of doing that. So when we did measurements on weights for our camper, we were about 6,400 pounds per axle, and we were going to do 7,000 pound axles. So we would have been very, very close if we added, our 60 gallons of fuel and that kind of stuff. And so we decided that it would make more sense at this point to do the 8K axles. It's about a $600 difference, but while you have everything ripped off, you might as well put stuff that gives you a little bit more margin for error. So that's the direction we went, and I'll keep you posted on the install. The job at MORryde lasts about a day or two. They spend a good bit of time kind of doing your measurements, and then once they do the measurements, then they've got to remove the existing suspension infrastructure. So they pull all the springs and the wet bolts and the equalizers and all of that off, and then for the most part they're able to just bolt on the new suspension to the existing frame hangers. So that's really good news. In the case of a triple axle like our Brinkley 3950, they did have to weld on an additional set of hangers because they weren't in the correct place as it relates to where it needed to be on the frame. One other thing they had to do, for those with the 3950, the front dump valve for the black and gray tank is really close to the forward axle on the camper. So they had to relocate that, basically cut the pipe, make it a little bit shorter, and have it come up a little further forward, which I actually like better anyway. But they were able to get that relocated while we were at the service center, and took care of that as well. Really, really nice. They have a waiting room where you can kind of hang out, lots of snacks and anything you want to eat or drink. They provide lunch each day for you while you're there. In the case of when I was there, it was actually snowing, so it was great. They had a fire going in the fireplace, and all of us that were doing our independent suspensions were just kind of sitting around chatting. So it was a really, really great experience with MORryde during the install.
Still a privately owned family company. The Moores, their grandfather, originally started the company. Back then it actually started as a carpet cleaning company, if you believe it or not, and it was out in this parking lot where the factory was. Since then, obviously, we've expanded kind of outward from here. This is our main campus. We've got 4 different campuses, all in the Elkhart area, so everything's really close.
So this is the system itself here. This is how it kind of comes over to us in service, already set up on its racks. This is how it's going to look sitting up underneath your unit. This particular system is an 8K system, and the only reason I know that is 1, the blue torque bracket, and 2, this beam arm that you see here, this black beam arm is the thickness of it, and because it's got a little notch back here for the brake line to run through. So one thing to notice on it, if you get up underneath the unit and you do any kind of maintenance stuff with it, check for a 3-inch long tear or a 3/4 inch deep gash in it. So if you take like a putty knife, you can stick it up in there 3/4 inches, you know it needs to be changed. I thought you'd never stop. I know. This is not a good time because it's not break time for you, but so anyway, so we don't see a lot of these have issues, and they can take a lot. We have customers come in lots of times to service. They don't even realize they've got a tear in it till we look at it. But we see anywhere from 7 to 15 years of life on these, so that they can last a while. But one thing that you potentially could see on there, if the rubber compound is a bad makeup from the company, you might see it delaminating from, like, pulling away from those metal plates. That we would say it's time to replace those. Nice thing about this particular system too is anything from these silver nuts back here out is all replaceable. So if something goes wrong with a component part or whatever in here, we can replace it for you. Like Matthew was saying, what happens if you need parts? We send parts all over the place. Just get a hold of our parts department. We can look you up in the system and see what you had, and we can send you the parts to either a service shop, or if you're handy enough, I actually sent parts to a gentleman in Idaho, and he did the quick repairs himself at a campsite. So we can take care of you wherever you're at and get you the parts as you need them. So like I was saying, this is one wear component. The other wear component that you kind of can't see in there is the shock that's in there. It's just a Monroe trailer shock. It's nothing fancy. You can find those anywhere, but yep, there you go. So, but if you ever like notice any fluid leaking down from the top, that tells you it's time to replace those at that point. These have a 1-year warranty on it. So again, like I said, I can't tell you when they're going to go out. It could go out 6 months from now. It could go out 2 years from now. So just kind of keep an eye on those as you're going along doing things. The other component that's wearable are the bearings that are inside here. So this is a bearing pack. I know the clear cap usually indicates an oil bath. It's not an oil bath. You put oil in there and it starts to expand. It's going to really mess up the hub that's on here. So you want to make sure it's a bearing pack on there when you take it in for maintenance. If you don't take it to us, obviously we know, but somebody else may not. And we suggest anywhere from 12 to 15,000 miles or once a year, whichever happens to come first. That's when you want to get these redone and repacked. And then also you can re-grease this torque bracket. There's 1 greaser on each of the torque brackets, so 4 total on there for you, and you can pump those things full of grease until it bleeds out the sides. You're not going to blow a seal, you're not blowing a bushing. It's okay for the grease to kind of bleed out of there because it's not air and water tight. That's why we put the grease in there. It keeps the water out, keeps that silver journal bar or the metal journal bar that runs through there nice and happy, along with the bushings.
All right, guys, it's night 2 of our stay here in the service bay at MORryde. They've made a lot of really great progress today. We've gotten the independent suspension system, the cross members in place. We've also gotten the disc brakes in place. The lines connecting the 3 sets of disc brakes on each side are in place. And the next step tomorrow will be to put the brake actuator, put the brake fluid in, and then start to work that brake fluid through the lines over to where the disc brakes are located. So we made really good progress today. All right, guys, so day 2 of the install here at MORryde. I got up just like the day before at 5 a.m. They like their early starts here in Indiana. And then I checked in before I went to get lunch, and all the brake lines are completed. The actuator's working. They bled all the air out of the lines. All of that's in place. The tires are back on the rig. He had it hooked up to the alignment computers and was doing all of the tire alignments and stuff like that before I left for lunch. So I'm thinking he's probably about done. And then this afternoon, we're supposed to go do a test drive with it, test the brakes, make sure it's towing well and all that kind of stuff. So. Well, guys, you can really see a big difference in the ride of the camper just from that video that you just saw. Well, we have now had the MORryde independent suspension for about 3,000 miles of towing since November, so I guess it's been about 5 months now. And I am just so impressed with this suspension system. It's like a whole different camper.
It is.
And it's funny, you know, we borrowed the loaner while the work was happening on our Brinkley, and it has the traditional suspension system, the leaf spring, and it just beat us to death. Like, now that we've had independent suspension, we're like, this is terrible, the ride. And it really is not that bad. It's better than any of the other fifth wheels we've ever towed with the stock suspension.
Yeah,
So,
but it was really interesting to compare it like very quickly, because I didn't get to have that opportunity. Matt did. He got to see the big difference, and I was like, oh yeah, it just rides nice. But I got to see the big difference, and whenever we rode in the other one, I got video of Bella and us in the truck, and it's just doing this like bouncing motion. Like, it's the chucking is bad. The braking is definitely different. As you can hear, it's raining today, so we get to put the extra braking to the test too. So that's part of what Matt did with it.
yeah, it's, you know, and it really, the best way I can describe it, like, we're on terrible roads right now in the Lexington, Louisville area, and you know, there's really no chucking at all. The truck, you can feel a little bit of a bump when the truck hits it, but there's nothing residual from the trailer when it hits it. It just kind of glides over.
Yeah.
And roads where we have, every time we've towed through there, in the Lexington, Louisville area, we've had some kind of something that gets thrown around or broken or whatever. We've had no problems. Nothing has moved at all.
No, so we've got the garage in the back, and before, whenever we would hit bumps, I was like, something's gonna fall, something's gonna break, and we have it all up now with the independent suspension, and every time I've gone in there, we put everything up the exact same way, and it stays perfectly exactly where it was before, so I am super impressed with it.
The guys at the shop said that there was a person that had just come in and they had 175,000 miles on their independent suspension, and they were just now replacing some of the shocks and some of the springs and stuff as a part of the suspension system. So for us, it's peace of mind. We really love it. It has improved the ride quality tremendously.
Yes.
And the disc brakes are just a game changer. If you could do nothing else, I would say do the disc brakes. It just, the stopping distance when people pull out in front of you and do stupid things, it really stops like you don't have a trailer back there, like it's like you're just stopping the truck.
Yeah, it definitely feels much safer. So if you can do anything, get the disc brakes.
Yeah. And one piece with the disc brakes, if you have a Ford Super Duty like ours, apparently 2023s and 2024s are where they have the most issue. But when they installed the disc brake system, it has an actuator that when you put your foot on the brake, it sends a signal to the actuator, which then sends the hydraulic fluid to the disc brakes. That actuator, the signal that comes from the Ford truck, is not strong enough to be able to activate the actuator for the disc brake system. So when we were at MORryde, it wasn't working the way that it should. So they said, I know exactly what's wrong with it. There's you're gonna need to put in this little, it's a device that just boosts the electrical signal that's coming from the truck to the actuator. So they did that, and we were in good shape after they installed it.
Yep. So we have been very impressed with the independent suspension and the disc brakes. And
very expensive upgrade. So it's not for everybody, but for our use case, it's really amazing.
So leave your questions, your comments, anything. Matt loves to talk about it, so he will answer all the things if you have any questions. And he loves it. So this is Matt's video. This time. So, See y'all later.